Hello and welcome to our show from the Federal. Thank you, Ms. Arunachalam, for accepting our invitation to be part of this show.
Very happy to be here.
Thank you, ma'am. Let me introduce Ms. Arunachalam to the viewers. Ms. Valli Arunachalam is a member of the 547 billion rupee Sugar to Cycles Murugappa Group. She is the eldest daughter of former Murugappa Group's executive chairman, M.V. Murugappan, who passed away in 2017. The group owns companies such as EID Parry, the largest sugar manufacturer in South India, Carborundum Universal, a material science company, Chola MS, a general insurance company, Shanti Gears, and the group also owns major cycle brands such as BSA and Hercules. She is also a nuclear scientist. She has a master's and an MPhil in nuclear physics, a PhD in nuclear engineering, and she has been part of the semiconductor industry for over 2 decades. Ms. Arunachalam has been fighting a legal battle for either a board seat in Ambadi Investments, a holding company of the Murugappa Group, or seeking a buyout of the 8.23% share in the group held by her mother, her sister, and herself. The board has repeatedly turned down her request for either of these. And let me begin by asking Ms. Arunachalam about the current status of the legal battle that you are involved in right now.
Thank you, Mr. Giri Prakash. So just to give you a little background on the legal battle, my family branch is the only female-only family branch of the Murugappa family. And in 2020, February, we filed a oppression and mismanagement lawsuit against the Murugappa family. And for over a year, the family raised a lot of hyper-technical objections, which we addressed in both our waiver application as well as petition, submitted the revised applications, which the NCLT ruled in our favor, accepted the revised petition and the waiver application, and they directed the family to respond. But instead of responding, they appealed to the higher tribunal, the appellate tribunal. And there too, we got a favorable ruling, which upheld, the NCLAT upheld the NCLT ruling. Now we are waiting for a hearing on merits at NCLT. And I look forward to the day when the family has to explain why all of what you just explained in the introduction is not gender discrimination. Okay,
let me go back to this gender discrimination. Do you think the group's bravado in stonewalling pleas for a settlement suggests a deep-seated hostility towards women? Or do they fear that bringing you on board will give you insight into how group firms are run and that you'll want to change how they are run?
I mean, these are excellent questions for the family to answer. I cannot speak for them, but what I can speak to is the facts. For over 4 generations in the Murugappa family, there have been 18 daughters, and not even one daughter has made it into the family business at any level. Forget about the board level. And I was the only daughter that had the courage to apply for a board seat. And at the time that I applied for a board seat, my qualifications were a PhD in nuclear engineering, 23 years experience in the semiconductor industry, many patents and research papers to my credit. And in contrast, many of my male cousins who got on that same board were in their early 20s, fresh out of college, with very little business experience. So my question is, why is the hurdle set so low for the male members of the family and so impossibly high for the female members of the family? And as you explained in the introduction, the family is one of the largest conglomerates in southern India. They have businesses ranging from sugar to electric vehicles. They're at the cutting edge of technology, but it's shocking that they're still stuck in the 18th century when it comes to admitting family women in the business. There are lots of family businesses in South India where the women, family women, have been admitted into the business. They are doing a remarkable job. Need I mention, household names like TVS, Apollo, TAFE, and these are women who are blazing the trail.
Yeah.
And doing good for the country as well as their own business. So I don't see any reason why family women should not have equal rights in the family business as the men.
Do you think that the founders of this group and subsequently they should have actually done something to see that there has to be a board seat for women members? If that had been included, may perhaps this situation wouldn't have arisen, or they didn't foresee that this will actually happen.
I think these are questions that are best answered by the family.
Okay. You have stated in your recent interviews that you intend to fight till the end because it's more about women's basic rights in India. And do you foresee any kind of settlement in future? I mean, you said that I'll fight to finish. It could take decades and all that. But this kind of stonewalling, how long? You might still say that it's up to the board to decide on this, but how do you look at the entire scenario and the fact that you hold slightly over 8%, you and your members of your family hold over 8%, and I read somewhere that they really couldn't care whether you're going to sell it to somebody, but as far as they are concerned, they are not going to buy it because it's a holding company. It's not a listed entity, right? So how do you look at this scenario?
Yeah, I think it is the leadership of the family that has to change with the times. Other businesses in southern India have proven that bringing women into the fold has allowed them to reap benefits. And I think this family has to realize that. But that said, I'm not the one at the leadership level. I'm just giving my comments on, others who have done it successfully.
Okay. For your over 8%, you do get dividends, right?
Oh, yes, we do get dividends. And so do the male members. But the difference here is that they control how the business is run, whereas our family branch, which is the female only branch that has no male heirs, is completely in the dark on how the business is run. And that is very unfair.
I do agree with you. Assuming you do get a board seat, and I hope you do get a board seat.
Thank you.
What are the changes that you might want to bring about in this group? I mean, you do have a very good view of the business activities of this group. And how do you like to see that this group actually does much better than what it is today? And that's one part of the question. The other part of the question is that, do you believe that this business group has actually reached its potential and has actually done well because of the diversity of the businesses?
Well, that's a multi-pronged question. So I think I'll take it one bite at a time. As to what I will do if I got on the board, my primary responsibility will be to the shareholders and to build shareholder value. And to that effect, what I will, I think, bring to the table is a diverse point of view, 50% of your customers are women, and it behooves a business to have women on the board so they can see through the lens of 50% of their customers. And that's the viewpoint that I will bring if I were on any board, for that matter. Right? And then there's also the looking at, from the strategic level, what are the businesses, what's out there in the horizon that that will bring value to the current business. The business world is, especially in this digital economy, there are so many avenues out there to leverage your core business. And so these are things, having been in the technology field for over 25 years now, these are insights that I can help bring. I can go on. I'm very passionate about science and technology, and I think technology, especially in this day and age, is becoming the bread and butter of every business. And data is the new oil. So, and these are all areas that I've had a lot of experience with, and that's the experience and the commitment that I will bring to the board. So that's to answer, I think, the first part. Can you remind me of the second part of your question?
The second part is more about the group itself. How do you look at the current status of the group, the kind of diversification that they have achieved, the kind of revenue growth that they have achieved? Would you like to change some of these things in terms of growing the businesses much better, or growing some of the businesses much better? Do you think it has actually achieved the kind of potential that it set out to do, as far as the founder members of the group are concerned?
Yeah, I think in any business, it does not behoove the business to kind of rest on their laurels. You have to continuously be pushing the barriers. And that's what I've learned personally in my career is, yeah, you achieve, but you don't rest on your laurels, and you always try to expand your horizons, expand your business, and make it, you grow. You have to grow as well as you have to bring in the cash flows. That's the balance. And I think that's important to have this continuous learning process and continuous growth process, and at the same time be able to service the bottom line. So that's my view on that.
Any specific businesses that you would want to grow in the group, or actually get into other businesses as well?
That's appropriate for me to comment at that time, at this time, at least. I think it's something that the board members should be commenting on. And I'm not on the board. I can just give you my viewpoint from my experiences.
Have there been any occasions when you decided that you want to launch your own business, your own company, or a startup, because the kind of experience that you have as a nuclear physicist, and any areas that you actually dreamt of getting in, and would you like to, because of the kind of the business environment in India, which is quite progressive as of now, and the huge startup culture that has enveloped the country?
Yeah, so I keep on top of all the developments in science and technology, because it's something that is just inbuilt in me. I have that passion and that drive. And right now I am helping, I do technology consulting and advisory in the area of mergers and acquisitions, and also with semiconductor technology equipment and product companies. So I'm already, working to push the envelope. by partnering and helping with companies across the globe. And the other thing is that I think it's also very important to give back to society. And that's something that I'm also very, very passionate about. When the family rejected my board seat, of course, I was disappointed, probably for about half a day. But then I got back on my feet and I thought, if capability and credentials are not enough to get on the board seat, right? What about all the, 500 million Indian women? What are their chances? Someone has to stand up and fight, right? And that's what I'm doing, is fighting for the basic rights of women. Why should sons have a right of passage into the family business and not daughters, especially in this day and age? So that's what my fight is all about. And I hope that in the end, there will be changes in the laws that will put daughters and sons on an equal footing in family businesses, as it should be. And this is in keeping with the Constitution of India, which guarantees equal rights for men and women. So yes, I will fight this all the way to the Supreme Court.
And actually that was my question. Actually, I mean, have you moved apart from NCLT, the regular courts, to get a favorable verdict?
I mean, I think it's a process, right? Right now we are in NCLT, and we just have to follow due process. But I will go all the way if that's what it requires. Because this fight is not a fight just about my family and its rights, but for the rights of all women in India.
The board members are your relatives, right? Have any of them individually reached out to you and actually said that you should actually get a seat on the board?
No, not one.
Surprising, right?
Yeah. I mean, and it is also very shocking that, they did a restructuring of the business in 2021. And in that restructuring, male members who are of 1/3 my age and have a fraction of my experience have been inducted into the business. So the practice continues even in the generation below me.
Okay.
It's just very, very shocking.
Yeah. See, let me understand the structure of the Murugappa Group, especially the holding company, Ambadi Investments. You hold around 8.2, if I'm right?
Yeah, 8.13%. Yes.
13%. What about the rest of the group? Who holds the majority in that? Which family owns the?
It's a majority family-owned business. So almost over 95% of the holding company is family-owned.
Okay. And it's evenly distributed among the members of the family.
All the family branches have comparable shareholdings. I mean, there may be some differences here and there, but it's not like, major differences.
Okay. I do hope you'll get positive results, and thank you very much for being part of the show, Ms. Arunachalam. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you. And I would like to say a big thank you to the Federal for bringing this to their viewers, and to all the girls and boys, men and women out there. I hope that we can shape a future where it is both men and women can contribute to the Indian economy.
Sure. Thank you very much, ma'am.
Subscribe to the Federal's YouTube page for more interesting updates.